How is it going, everyone? We've got a major PlayStation Plus update in this video to go over. Some major titles will be coming to the top tier, as well as some big free DLC dropping on one of the most notable PlayStation 5 exclusives in Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. We are celebrating 20 years of Ratchet & Clank, and all of that is tied to that, so we'll talk all about that. Speaking of free DLC, Ultra Age is getting some free DLC, and Ghostrunner 2. Bit of a brief update on that. First concept artwork has dropped for that. We'll talk that at the end of this video. First and foremost, I do want to make the majority of this video about Ratchet & Clank and it turning 20 today, and with that, we've got the 20th anniversary armor pack. Let's get straight to the good stuff. We're thrilled to announce Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart will receive a 20th anniversary armor pack today in honor of #Ratchet20, which will be available via a game update at no extra cost. The pack includes 5 armors inspired by games throughout the franchise's history, and we have an awesome selection. This includes a Commando armor inspired by Ratchet & Clank Going Commando, Holoflux armor inspired by Ratchet & Clank Future, A Crack in Time, Quest armor inspired by Ratchet & Clank Future, Quest for Booty, Marauder armor inspired by Ratchet Deadlock, and Clank armor to celebrate the greatest of pals. So all of that content is going to be coming free. Obviously, again, these are notable outfits from the legacy of Ratchet and Clank. And on top of that, that's not all. We're also excited to announce more of Ratchet and Clank's franchise coming to PlayStation Plus Premium on November 15th. Now, before you get too excited, these are PS3 titles. You know, it's not even the PS2 classic titles. As PS2 on PS4 games, it's unfortunately all just streamable titles. Like, Sony, come on with that. But if you are streaming games, you'll get Ratchet & Clank Quest for Booty, Ratchet & Clank Future, A Crack in Time, Ratchet & Clank All for One, Full Frontal Assault, and Into the Nexus. On top of that, coming to PlayStation Plus Premium on November 15th, Ratchet & Clank Going Commando, Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal, Ratchet & Clank Deadlock, and finally, Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction. For some reason, that game has been absent on Plus Premium, and I don't know why, considering all the other Future titles are on there. Tools of Destruction obviously kicked off the Future series. Now, it was one of those early PlayStation 3 titles where it came out in 2007. It doesn't even have trophies in that game, but nonetheless, that's nice to see. I mean, it's not downloadable. Maybe one day we'll get all these games downloadable. Could you imagine if all of these games were downloadable? How excited people would have gotten for an update like this? Like, we're talking probably the difference of, like, deep into the 5 figures of PlayStation Plus subscribers that would be generated by these games being downloadable, and that's probably putting it pretty lightly. It would probably be in the 6 figures. I genuinely could see if all these games became downloadable on Plus Premium, like, over 100,000 people would sign up for PlayStation Plus Premium. At this point, it's just streamable. I know some of you guys have solid internet connection where, you know, streaming these games are no problem, but I think for the majority of people, it is what it is. Hey, at the very least, you are going to get that Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart 20th Anniversary Armor Pack. Rift Apart is a great game, and I do foresee that being added to PlayStation Plus Extra at some point in the future. I would imagine that would be one of the major games that Sony would have lined up, maybe for later this month, maybe for December, but you would imagine that a game like that would be added at some point just because you've got the influx of sales for that game already done. You know, you can drive some Plus Extra subscriptions if you do want with that title, maybe sometime early next year as well, but nonetheless, those are some great games. Like, all of the Ratchet & Clank Future titles are awesome. Ratchet & Clank Crack in Time might be my personal favorite Ratchet & Clank game, like, ever. You know, Rift Apart is pretty damn good, so, like, maybe Rift Apart is better, but I loved Crack in Time from a narrative standpoint. It's a game that I'd love to go back and play at some point. I'm just not in the position where I want to be digging out my PlayStation 3 and hooking it back up. I didn't mean to do that, like, a few months ago, I want to say, and then I was just like, yeah, this is too much work, and, yeah, at some point, I'm sure I'll figure out a way to play a Crack in Time again, but Tools of Destruction as well. Tools of Destruction was awesome, and I remember back in 07, people were talking about, oh my god, this looks like a Pixar movie come to life. That said about a lot of video games, but in the case of Tools of Destruction, it looked pretty damn good, and Crack in Time was a very good game as well. Again, 20th Anniversary Armor Pack. For you Plus subscribers, Premium subscribers, you're going to be getting a bevy of new titles to check out for Ratchet's 20th Anniversary. Those will all be dropping, by the way, on November 15th, so I imagine the entire PlayStation Plus Extra lineup and Premium lineup will be dropping on November 15th as well. Alright, moving on from that, speaking of free DLC, Ultra Age free DLC Rebirth Project is now available for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. A physical edition of the game has been announced for North America. That's going to be available through Amazon and Limited Run Games. The game's been out for a little bit. It saw a pretty solid reception. I mean, 169 Steam user reviews, 84% positive there. I didn't get a chance to play this one, but it looks like a fast-paced action title. Slash your way through a futuristic Earth overrun with ruthless mutants and powerful robots as Age, a young soldier sent on a mission to prevent the destruction of humankind. Ultra Age is a high-speed character action title co-developed by Next Stage and Visual Dart with Unreal Engine 4. It's not a super big budget game, was released at $24.99. As far as the physical edition goes, that will be $34.99 and will be coming to PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch, so if you do want to check that out, that is going to be an option as well. Quite like the box art to it, if nothing else. Amazon and Limited Run Games, by the way, have different box arts, but nonetheless, it's mostly similar by the looks of it, but yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Again, that's going to be available December 29th for $35, so take that for what you will. Yeah, it looks like actually the difference in the box art is very subtle, but it looks like a little bit of a zoom difference, and the Switch box art is totally different, and I really dig the Switch box art on Amazon, but nonetheless, there you go with that. That's another title to keep on your radar. And lastly, Ghostrunner 2 has gotten its first concept artwork. Now, this doesn't tell us much about the game, but Ghostrunner is a game that I talk pretty highly about. It's definitely a game that, my god, I was damn near ready to break my controller when I was playing that game, but it's got a lot to like. The parkour gameplay is awesome. The game is super fast-paced and it's super replayable that you continue to go back in. You know, you're gonna die a lot, but you constantly can go back in. Easy to get back into the game and do another run. Definitely infuriating at times, but got a great soundtrack. It's got a great style. Pretty interesting story that has quite a bit of mystery. Kind of figure it out after a while. It was a PlayStation Plus title. Might be on Plus Extra as well. But yeah, excited that, you know, the game did well enough to justify a sequel as well, because I didn't know how the first game was going to do from a reception standpoint, but nice to see that it is going to get another title with Ghostrunner 2. Ghostrunner expansion, there was a Ghostrunner expansion as well, Project Hell, and then the game is available on PS5 and Xbox Series in the form of an upgrade. Ghostrunner 2, on the other hand, will be a full-on next-generation exclusive title in development for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. No release date yet. I would imagine sometime maybe late 23, early 24. That's just me spitballing and, you know, shot in the dark, but nonetheless, that is something to be mindful of. And, you know, if you never played the first game, go back and play it. It's definitely an acquired taste. I see a lot of people would get infuriated by it, and there's definitely some mechanics that, you know, don't hit home with me. But again, parkour gameplay, awesome, very satisfying gameplay in my opinion as well. Once you start getting the hang of it, you do start figuring it out, but they introduce more mechanics like pretty gradually, and yeah, I thought they did a pretty good job, all things considered. But that is gonna do it for me. Again, Ratchet & Clank 20th Anniversary Armor Pack available through a free update. Some classic armors that pay homage to classic Ratchet & Clank titles. Major titles being added to Plus Premium, with Ratchet & Clank Going Commando, Up Your Arsenal, Deadlocked, and Future Tools of Destruction. Tools of Destruction, a major addition there. Ultra Age free DLC, Rebirth Project now available, and Ghostrunner 2 gets its first concept artwork. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.